Running Free with JH. This is JH, John Henry. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Me, it is the end of another week. Today is Saturday, December 22nd, right before Christmas, and it's official. I made the decision to cancel out and finish up the my crazy December challenge. Learned a lot. I didn't make it to Christmas Day because guess what? Some of us have to work. That's basically what happened for me this week. I had to put in 15 to 18-hour days every day. Plus, you got to think about getting your food together, your sleep, your showering, all that good stuff. And I decided that sleep was more important than going to the gym because I don't function very well on 2 or 3 hours sleep a night. It's not me. I can try 5, 6, 5. I'm doing good, but when I get less than that, it doesn't work so well. Not very well at all. Basically, by today's Saturday, so 2 days ago was uh, Thursday, and that was the first day off. So Wednesday was the last time I ran an actual fast race or fast by fast day, and it was doing well. Did very well, I thought. I took 2 days off because of work. I couldn't do anything, and I decided, hey, let's do something a little different. Even though I've been doing very well in this stride, let's do one final run. And for any run out there you do, if there's a race, either 5K, 10K, half marathon, some people take off the day before, do a little warm up, whatever. Sometimes people take 2 days off. Well, I had the privilege of working those 2 days from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. And I decided, you know what, I'm not working out anyway, so let's do that. Take the race. So it's after a few hours ago, I was able to take off during lunch and go to the gym, and I was able to do a 2 mile test. I did a 2 mile warm up, about just under 20 minutes, tested that out, and then let's go 2 miles. First mile, I hit 6:16. I was very shocked. In the first half mile of that, I was running way too fast. And it wasn't the fact that like I could feel it, I just couldn't feel it. I was very like, whoa, this is very easy. I felt very easy on this, felt nice. The recovery of time off did good, I thought. And as we all know, what's coming next, you start feeling it towards the end of mile 1 into mile 2, and then you got to hold on. And that's kind of what happened for me. I ended up running the second mile slower than the first, and ended up at a 12:41 2 mile, which is actually pretty good compared considering I was doing roughly a 6.5 minute mile pace, barely 6:32, 6:33s, averaging on in my tempo runs the past week and everything, where I was having some issues. The actual time off actually helped recover and take a good race. And if I would have gone out a little slower, maybe even 5 seconds slower, I think I could have come home stronger and possibly even made the 12:30 or even under. Possible, but not totally guaranteed. So, in a nutshell, I actually learned a lot this week about myself, or as I like to call it, refresher in the brain about what I should have known and I need to actually apply to myself. Rule number one, you have to decide what's more important to you. Is it the working out, the sleep, the work? I made a decision that I need to get extra cash. That's what I need. I don't make a living with running. Hope to one day, but as of right now, that's not going to happen. And I don't have a second job. I had a second job. I decided to leave that second job for reasons of environment that I thought was not healthy, and I left. My decision. I kept the first one because it did pay a little bit more, and you also need a job. It's not responsible to just quit every job because you don't feel good going to the job. Yes, 80% of us in the world, or in America at least, don't like our jobs, me included. But as a human being, as a man, and as a person who actually cares about trying to get my future going, I really want to make sure I don't get thrown out on the streets. I be able to support myself and actually pay for rent, food, and all that stuff. And the only way to do that is have a job. So I decided that priority number one was the job. And if they're going to give you extra money for extra overtime, take it. That was my rule. And when you get past 40 hours a week, we all know is time and a half here. And unfortunately, in Nevada, there's no double time. So after you get past 60 hours, which I am going to be pulling in just under 75 hours this week of work, they don't give you overtime of time and a half like it does in California and other states. I remember working in California years ago, and the big push about was making sure the hourly employees didn't go past 60 hours because of the double time. Because think about it, if you're making $10 an hour, now you're making 15 for time and a half, now you're making 20 if you're doing double time. And obviously, every employee loves doing that $20 an hour, but the employer doesn't like it. So that was priority number one. And priority number two, I decided was because my priorities in my life, usually working out, make yourself feel good, and looking to yourself inward, right? But also keeping up with the people that you care about in your life, right? And so priority number one was work. Priority number two, I chose sleep. That was the priority number two I decided this week, and it was a blessing because I'm not sure exactly how I would feel or how it would be if I didn't get my sleep. I'm actually very good. I can function on 6 hours sleep a night for a couple days, and I can actually go to five. I've noticed with me at 3 and 4 hours don't go so well. Every I do believe that once a week you should do about go to bed early. I'm talking about 8, 7, or maybe 9 if you're used to going to bed at midnight. But go to bed an hour or two early just to relax and you fall asleep. And maybe you wake up at the normal time. Maybe you go an hour past it. But then you get an extra hour or two on both sides, and you slept and you do a good recovery. I always believe doing that once a week. So that's why I made priority number two sleep. And priority number three was actually taking care of people you want to take care of, And I made that a priority. I had calls with people, and I made sure that I had talked with people that are close to me, that I do have in this life that are very few, but I make sure they matter. And on top of that, I put priority underneath that, working out. As bad as that sounds, this week it was the priority. So every week, I think I do this mentally without realizing it. I make priorities of what's important, and also during the week you adjust. And I adjusted to see, and that's where this week was. And overall, this week was very good. Like I said, I got roughly 3 weeks into this practice. I mean, let's look at this for a minute. I went from running nothing for months on end, no working out. I couldn't do 5 pull-ups if I was lucky. I couldn't even do 15, 20 push-ups, maybe 25, but they weren't like perfect. They weren't, chest down on the ground, coming on up, arms locked. It wasn't the pull-up where you're hanging, elbows locked, coming up, chin goes to the bar, comes back down. None of that. It was pretty bad. And starting September 1st, I started running. A month later, I started working out push-ups, sit-ups, push-ups and push-ups and pull-ups. And I did cores also every day after a run. So I did core, leg lifts, mountain climbing, all the fun things, right? And now we're here at the end of December, so we're just under 4 months in. Yesterday I did 25 pull-ups. Basically get on the bar and say, what can we do? So I took out, I had 2 days off of upper body working out, so no push-ups, no pull-ups, and I hit pull-ups of 25. You go up the bar, chin goes over, down to uh, elbows locked. That's one, right? Did that 25 times before I couldn't do anymore. And then for the push-ups, it's like, do you keep going so you can't stop? I'm of the military back mindset where you keep going until a 2 minute rule's up. 2 minutes. How many can you do in 2 minutes? Keep going, because a lot of times what happens is at the 45 seconds a minute, you kind of stop to get your breath, and you kind of readjust, and then you go back down. So I've always enjoyed having the 2 minute rule for push-ups. 1 minute is a little too quickly. 3 minutes maybe too fast. So 2 minutes seems right. Maybe I'll adjust it one day, but I like that rule. So for 2 minutes of push-ups, I got to 82. And that was actually a pretty good one, I thought. A pretty damn good one. I liked it. And like I said, that's a good progression. Now the end of the year is happening, and I'm looking back on what's going on because next week is the last weekend we have in New England. In New England, excuse me. I'm thinking of New England right now. In the year. And I'm not going to be able to run again until after Christmas because of work. 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day, and sleep is more important, right? So today was the last day I did a run. It's the last run I do for almost probably about 5, 6 days, and I have to decide how I want to move forward. I liked it. I liked what I learned with the actual every other day running. It was fantastic. Enjoyed it. What I especially enjoyed was something I did not expect. I thought I would be tired more. I thought the recovery would not be so good. But what I did differently than what I thought initially I was going to do, because you know how when we're running, we go about the watch. We're all about the watch. On our fast days, we get faster. On our lifting days, we get more lift. I said, you know what? Let's do something different. I'm gonna lift, every other day, push-ups one day, pull-ups next day. I'm gonna run fast one day, easy the next day. And I decided that I'm gonna go out every day with what's going on. Today's easy day running. I'm gonna do easy. Minimum of 2 minutes slower per mile than the fast day. Minimum. If it has to be 3 minutes, so be it. Let the legs go. If it's a fast day, we'll go onto the watch of where I'm at. And if it has to do the same time again, we'll do it. Let the body decide when it's ready to go faster. If I can get the first mile and it's the same 6-minute mile pace, 7 mile pace, whatever it is, every single time, fantastic. If I'm getting faster, go. If I'm ready to go faster in the beginning, let the body do it. And that's what I started doing. I started noticing that as the week progressed, I got faster. I did. And as you know, as you saw in the last week's podcast, I started going more towards the time of the watch than actually focusing on what the body felt. And that's why I started coming off the 30 minutes to 25 minutes, 4.5 to 4 to almost barely making 3 miles because I was focusing more on getting faster and faster and not what my body was telling me. That was a mistake I made. Very big mistake. The second thing I did, which I actually didn't do it badly, actually did it very, very well, was allowing the push-ups and pull-ups to let the body decide. So for the whole 2-3 weeks, the pull-ups, when I didn't feel like I was ready, I would say, okay, let's try another day. And so I started with 7. So I'm doing 6 sets of 7 reps. No weights on it, nothing, right? I ended 3 weeks later with 9. That means 9 reps per set for 6 sets. That's 4. That's palms away, palms facing you. You know, dips. I mean, I was impressed. That's the biggest lesson I take this whole week and this whole crazy experiment I did in the past December is let your body decide when it's ready to go. Mentally and on paper, you feel like you should be a certain point in your training. It doesn't always happen that way. And if you let your body decide when it's ready to go, it will surprise you. Because I was so surprised when I first started on December 2nd, 6:46 mile pace. I just ran 2 miles at an average of probably 6:20 if you add both together. That's impressive, the drop. Granted, the 6:46 mile pace was like 4 or 5 miles, but still, wrapping my head around it, I'm like, wow, the body will adjust. You give yourself the nutrition, because I did actually do good nutrition, which is a podcast I'm going to do probably this week coming up about what I do for nutrition. But if you do good nutrition, good sleep, let your body do what it has to do, push when it has to, use recovery when it needs to, it comes together. And that's basically overall the themes of this week that I actually really liked. And that's all for this week, though. But as you know, this podcast, I've always said I need to make sure that I do everything for all you guys. And what I mean by that is be transparent, very transparent. I want to make this open to anybody to listen. I thought maybe later on down the road, if this gets big enough, that we can actually put some people on there and actually have conversation dialogue. Because I do talk better when someone's talking with me. Because sometimes I ramble, which I know I tend to do. I tend to talk about the same thing over and over sometimes. I do in a circle. And it's nice to have someone to bounce ideas off of, because then it's a lot better. I like the Joe Rogan concept where he gets a question, you answer it, and you kind of go off of that and dissect that theme or that topic. And that's kind of where I want to go with this. But for now, it's going to keep on being what my thoughts are and how things are going. I want to keep doing these once a week, weekly runs in review, basically, where once a week towards the weekend, I talk about how I felt all the week. Today, actually, I did a little Instagram post about what was going on today. And I think I'm going to start doing a little bit more of those and adding them to my Facebook and to YouTube and put them in the playlist so that way you guys can find them if you want to. It's the whole thing of this whole process in my brain and how I'm looking forward to is to document how I'm doing this. Because where I want to be, would love to be, is I just saw that last year, I did not know this, we had the second American just break under 60 minutes for the half marathon. The second American. Ryan Howell was the first one, and this other guy, I can't remember his name. Ryan Howell got 59:43. The other guy got 59:53, but then he was it looked like they reset it to 51 as they calculated the actual gun time and chip time and everything. And there's only 2 people that have ever gone under 60 minutes for a half marathon. And I like the marathon, don't get me wrong, but I more prefer the half because you can do it more. And I have the gas tank to go fast and also the gas tank to go long. We'll see if I'll be able to do a 4-minute. My main goal is to be able to do a 4-minute mile for 8 miles, which is an insane goal. But it's a good goal to have. It's a goal to strive for. So you strive that. If you strive for that for 20 years, how could you ever look down on yourself? You're trying for a goal that's most people think is impossible. That's a good goal to have. I'm only 2.5 minutes from it. And when I first started this, I was running at roughly just under 9-minute mile pace, barely breathing. And yes, when you start out slow and you go faster and faster, you make big leaps, and then when you get faster and faster, those big leaps get smaller and smaller, and it takes more and more time to get those. But I think it's possible. And this whole thing is my journey to get there. And that's kind of what I want to talk about going forward. So weekly reviews and also my thoughts on different things. I had a podcast that was done this past week on, I kind of rambled off the topic on the same theme. It was about sabotage, self-sabotage. And I talked about my situation a little bit. And maybe it's possible that I need to talk about that more and face the darkness, my darkness about what's going on in my life and how I got to where I am at. Because I know not everybody is in the same situation, but a lot of people feel like I do. How you don't belong, how you feel sometimes worthless or useless, how you feel like no one cares. You're just kind of here. And I was pushed so many times over the years to just start a podcast, start a YouTube channel, just to throw things out there and see if anybody else was feeling similar. That's why I decided that along with these weekly reviews to record what I want to do working out wise, mostly running, it's going to be also about the darkness that I have, things I run from, things I'm running towards, what's going on. And hopefully it resonates with somebody. Well, thank you for tuning in to Running Free with JH. You can always email me at runningfreewithjh@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, all Running Free with JH. Have a great weekend and have a great holiday. Take care.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.